welcome back to the show. And for the first time in quite a while, we're going to be doing a fight prediction. And the fight prediction today will be for the super fight between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. This is, I think, for the first time in a while, a true mega fight. You know, there's nothing like the spectacle of a super fight in Las Vegas. You can't beat it. And I feel like this is one of those fights. You know, I don't feel like we've had a true super fight in boxing, at least since Wilder Fury 2, maybe Canelo versus Golovkin 2. But either way, we haven't had one in at least over 3 years, if not 5. So it's good to have a mega fight like this finally happening. You know, these are two people that appeal to the casual audience extremely well. And, you know, they recently announced the new pay-per-view price, the $85, which is very high. It's the same price that they put for Canelo versus Golovkin 2, so they're obviously expecting very high numbers, probably in excess or close to 1 million buys, if not more. So, you know, it's not a title fight. It will be fought at a 136-pound catch weight, which I don't really understand. I don't understand why they wouldn't just like fight at lightweight. You know, it's a 1 pound catch weight. I don't really see the point in it. Maybe if Ryan just cannot make that weight, but I don't know. An extra pound, what is that? You know, a piss. You know, shave your hair off. It's not that much. So it's time for the prediction. So, you know, we got these men in the ring now. April 22nd, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. It is going down, and it is an interesting fight. I think it's a fight that Tank is heavily favoured to win. I personally would probably say so, but I don't think it is as, you know, it is as one-sided as some people are making out. You know, Ryan Garcia is very live in this fight. And let's just dive into their sort of styles. So, let's start off with Gervonta Davis. Let's start off with the main man, I'd say, in this. Gervonta Davis' style, I feel, has matured and developed over the years. I feel like he's beginning to throw less. He's becoming more efficient with his punches, because he always knows that he has the power to switch anyone's lights off at any time. I feel like he's developed into a little bit of a southpaw Canelo, where he kind of walks fighters down. He's not throwing too much. He's quite efficient with his shots, but because he knows the shot will come. Just like Canelo. Canelo typically doesn't throw because he's all about efficiency, and when he throws the shots, he makes them count. And that's certainly Gervonta Davis' style now. You know, he's been outboxed in previous fights. He's had lost some rounds to Orlando Romero, certainly to Isaac Cruz, Hector Garcia. You know, all these recent fights, even Mario Barrios, he's lost a fair share of rounds. So, not the best technical boxer by any means, but he knows that he doesn't have to box people, because he knows a shot will eventually come and he will eventually get his man out there. Now on to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is he linked up with Eddie Reynoso back in 2018, and they started to build things on top of his pure blinding speed. You know, the kid has an excellent left hook, and being the much bigger man, he's definitely going to have an advantage in this fight. So, and he eventually did leave the Reynosos. He kind of took a break from boxing after the Luke Campbell fight. He didn't really fight until he fought Manuel Tego in, I believe it's April of 2022. He took a 16-month break from the sport. He was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna in July of 2021, but he pulled out of that due to mental health issues. He ended up having that Javier Fortuna fight in July of 2023, about a year later from the original fight, and it was a one-sided beatdown. You know, Javier Fortuna is not the same guy that he originally was, and it was a great performance from Ryan. Let me just jump back to the Emmanuel Ortega fight. It wasn't... By then, Ryan Garcia had linked up with his new trainer, Joe Goosen, and I feel like the adjustment, you know, the transition from one trainer to another, I feel like that was apparent in that fight. Ryan Garcia did not look his best. He was unable to get his man out of there. He dominated the fight, don't get me wrong. He basically won every round. But he just looked... He couldn't get the finish, which I feel like disappointed a lot of people, because Manuel Ortega was essentially running for the whole fight, which I guess adds to why he couldn't knock him out, because when a fighter fights the fight not to get knocked out, it's not easy to actually take him out of there. So Ryan Garcia is now coming into this with a stronger position than ever, really. He is a underdog in this fight. Many people were favouring him to lose, probably by knockout, but don't write him off. You know, he did get dropped in the Luke Campbell fight, and this is more due to his defensive errors. You know, he has an issue with the fact that when he punches, he typically has his chin right up in the air. He doesn't tuck his chin in, and it was an issue that Luke Campbell was able to exploit quite quickly, because he dropped him on his arse. He dropped him hard. It wasn't even a light knockdown. He dropped him heavy. He landed on his arm. But that's not to say that Gervonta Davis doesn't have weaknesses as well. I think recently it's been pointed out when Gervonta Davis goes to attack the body, or even the head, when he throws a left hand to either the body or the head, he drops his right hand sometimes. And you know, when you drop your right hand like that, you can become a sucker for the left hook by Ryan Garcia, which we know is absolute lightning. We saw the clip against Javier Fortuna where he throws the left hook. You can't even see it. You have to slow it down to like half speed to even see the left hook. It is so fast. So this is an excellent fight. Maybe not the most elite fight in the sport. You know, there are fights on schedule that I feel like are better, like Haney versus Lomachenko, Inoue versus Fulton. Those fights are probably better, but they're not mega fights like this. And I'm looking forward to the spectacle, you know. Stumbling on my words. Yes, the big fights are good, but sometimes they aren't actually quality, you know. Sometimes the big fights aren't actually good matchups. Like, you know, some of the clown freak shows that we've had throughout the years. Mayweather, Paul, you know, was a circus show, so was Mayweather McGregor, but it's still sold over 4 million pay-per-views. You know, Fury, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury sold near 1 million. But this is a great fight. You know, this is a great fight, a great matchup, great stylistic matchup, and they can both pose each other problems. And it's always great to see the best fights in boxing, the best quality matchups. But just the pure spectacle of a big, good quality fight in Las Vegas, you can't really beat it. There's not much else to add other than how I think the fight will run down, obviously. So, I think the fight starts out with Ryan Garcia picking up a few early rounds. You know, he uses his superior size. You know, he has an almost 5-inch height advantage, big reach advantage as well, to pick Gervonta Davis off, using his superior one-punch speed. You know, Ryan Garcia is probably the fastest fighter in boxing. at this stage. So, and Gervonta Davis struggles to get on the inside, but him being the intelligent fighter that he is, he will eventually start to creep in, find his range, figure out ways to get inside. He'll start slipping the shots that Ryan Garcia's throwing, because Ryan Garcia can be predictable at times. And I feel like Gervonta Davis will eventually figure that out, and he'll start landing shots of his own. And I feel like come round, anything past round 9, I'd say, round 9s to 11, I feel like Gervonta is going to land the telling punch of the fight, which will either, if it doesn't knock out Ryan Garcia, it will severely hurt him. And if it doesn't knock him out, it will just be a downhill ride from there, and Ryan Garcia will struggle to stay in the fight. And I feel like definitely before round 12, but before round 11, I feel Gervonta Davis will take him out. So my official prediction is Gervonta Davis by 10th round TKO. This is a fight that I think either way wouldn't go to the scorecards, because both these men have great power. But Gervonta Davis, down at these weight classes, he's the biggest puncher there. He has that one hitter quitter. So there's not much else to add to this. I've pretty much covered everything. So I will see you guys later. I'll do another fight prediction soon, probably for Haney versus Lomachenko. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But other than that, nothing else. So see you later. Peace.